Hi, this is Cheryl with Sea Spirit Tarot, and have a little more time. I thought I would try this other card reading. We'll see how it goes, because these are my practices. What I wanted to do was a shadow spread on what's going on in the unconscious, the collective unconscious. And my neighbors are noising it out there. Okay. So, the card that came out for the goddess for this reading is Hathor. Sometimes the tarot book is called the Book of Love. Sometimes it's called the Book of Hathor. Hathor is a goddess of fertility, of love. Very powerful. Very powerful. Anyway, that's very interesting. That's good feminine energy to have come up in this reading. Beautifully healing cards. The card on the bottom of the deck of the main card without significator, can I say it, is the Eight of Swords. And this would show to me, yeah, I know there's a sunset, there's yellow, and there's orange. It's the sunset of the future. Could also be solar plexus sacral problems where people are not feeling secure in themselves or in this world that we're living in right now. People have closed off their hearts and formed their own cage within their mind, not even putting their head up to look. Used to be a poem, I wish I could remember it. Iron bars do not a prison make. But these are self-made prisons here. That's kind of is the oversight. It's kind of creepy. The card that came up as I pulled for an oracle, but I pulled one of my Hubble telescope cards. And this is the Hangman. Transition, turning points, and decisions. But basically, a larger view needs to be taken to be looked at everything. Look at that Hubble scope. The eyes, animals, stars. That's all gas. That's all the fifth. That's all plasma. We're all, this is all of us. A larger view needs to be taken overall versus locked into the so much I, me. There's I am and there is I, me. And they do serve a different purpose. This is a gorgeous card. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. I guess the guy in his head president wants to look at the Hangman, look at the nebula. Good for him. Okay, this first card is how's this shadow aspect showing up, manifesting in the collective unconsciousness. We got a Nine of Wands with a raven. So it's showing up by everybody's overreacting. A 9 is attainment. The raven creates a level up, I would say, a level up, eats away the old crummy stuff, rebirths the good stuff, the fire of eternal spirit of your heart. Are we going to sacrifice the raven to do this and lose our heart, our sun, our soul, our spirit? Clarifying card for this one I pulled, I haven't looked at any of them, is justice. We're all looking for justice. So the shadow aspect is showing up, I'm going to call it with injustice. There's just too much stuff people don't want to look at, don't want to make a decision on. They are fearful. They're fearful of justice, too. People are running on such automatic electronic responses, it seems. It's so crazy what our life is right now. Positive effects the shadow has had on the unconscious, on the universe, on life, is the king. More people are awakening. More people are seeing that they too can have the courage of the lion, the sovereign of their own free will in alliance with the divine, to fill in their whole pinnacle of balance. People are waking up. They're looking around. Maybe they won't sacrifice a raven. Maybe the raven will just sacrifice the bad parts. The clarifier for that, how cool. The world. Positive effects the shadow has had on life. We are becoming united as a world. United. Everybody is coming together, and there is enough critical mass, coming together for a level up of this world, to one of justice, to one of spirit, to one of transformation of the lion. I brought in the dragons because, you know, the dragons came in, last year? They're here to cut it to the core, burn it out, and help people find clarity. And this is a Saturn card. This is actually, you know, I'm going to take this. This is the last card in the major arcana. Maybe this is about our last chance to get this fixed, huh? Saturn goes direct in like 2 days. The decisions you've made over the last few weeks, few months, is probably kind of set up, possible, what your life is going to be for the next 12 or 13 years. So peace and love with Saturn. Respect them. Saturn, the taskmaster. Saturn's going to... The music of the spheres, we're all just vibration and frequency. We are being affected. Here we are affected. Where's my stick? Here we're affected a lot with our free will and not paying attention so well. And here comes injustice to say, clean it up. I guess that should be on the recap, actually. I should keep going. 3, what's harmful of this aspect? 5, people are not making choices. People are running on their emotions, running on what they hear, not leveling it out and thinking, not even making their own sovereign choices, but running in little herds. Little herds, we should do. Not everybody. I've seen some people out there. And the clarification of that is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. So, to me, that says there's a well chance to balance that out. 4 and 5, both of these cards here, are suggestions for healing, advice, warnings. Here we got the King of Wands. There we had the 9 of Wands. The King of Wands knows what's going on in his kingdom. He's a creator. He is Sun Soul Source. He don't take a bunch of BS. He moves right on ahead. Quickly on ahead. He can be harsh. And the other card that goes with him is the 9 of Pentacles. See, he will be successful. Those that can remain sovereign and grow their own tree, grow their own food, grow their own minds. Look into alternative sources. Turn off the television. Go outside. And the 2 clarifiers for those 2 cards that were drawn of the dragons. It's the 4 of Swords. 2 and 2, 4 of Swords. I can't think of what that is in the... 4 of Swords right away. It's a time of rest. But I see lightning coming in. Almost looks like a unicorn, lightning. Lightning is coming in. He's balancing a sword on his nose, a 5th sword, to move out of rest and move into action. Action, we're here with the King of Wands. And with the 10 of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, excuse me. We got the Ten of Cups. This is complete fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. Spread your love, everybody. Shine your light. And the Oracle cards to tie this reading together. What did I just say? Shine your light. Skull of light. Illumination. If you plant just one seed with someone, but especially modeled by your life of integrity. But look at those colors, those high-level chakras. Pink and purple. Gorgeous. Take away the trappings. It's only an illusion. You're a carbon skull. And this is the lamp. Leave the light on. Leave the light on for others to lead them. Know that there is a light on for you, that everybody has their own energetic signature, and it has a spark. And this skull of light, the skull of light, the skull of light, and leave the light on, ties the reading together and gives us a good way to make it to the way. So real quick, how the shadow aspect is showing up in the collective unconscious. They're just ready to jump on and get after everybody instead of making judgments sovereign and knowing that things are equal. Matt, when she balances your soul, she uses a peacock feather. But here it looks like we got, I don't know, we have the fire of the soul and the lightness of a feather. Libra, major arcana, coming around the positive effects it's had. The King of Pentacles, of coming into balance. Transformation with that lion. And another major arcana, clarifier, sitting right on next to the next one, is the world. We are the world. But we must become sovereign in ourselves before we can unite in the world. Otherwise, we're just making more needy relationships. We don't need any more needy relationships in this world right now, I'm sorry to say. So what's harmful in this aspect, as I said, is people are not making wise choices. They're not looking in the cup. They're not looking at the label of the cup. They're running on what they've been told. I get, this is my pet peeve and a very bad judgment of mine, but they're more worried about what Brenda, I don't know. I don't even know. Whatever brand of whatever they have, than they are worried about the quality of their soul that's in the cup. And the clarifier for that was the Ace of Cups, which means, though this is a harmful effect, everyone has the chance to start over and do it again with the Ace of Cups of contentment. The suggestions for healing and advice. King of Wands. Listen to your intuition. This is maybe not an intuition card, but this is your fire sign. This is your sun soul source. This is being in management of it. Therefore, in management of yourself, of your soul. And of that, you come into a Nine of Cups, a balanced 3-3-3. 3, 6, and 9s always go back to love by being in control of yourself. And there again, the Four of Wands, balancing the fifth wand on his nose to make a change, to come out of separation, rest, isolation. I keep saying it though, it's so confusing. We must become sovereign within ourselves. There's a 2 and a 2, there's a 4. That actually goes right there with the tree and the king. And the Ten of Cups, we must be done, well, I was going to say making illusionary choices. And by making wise choices, as farther up there was noted, then we can have, with the Ten of Cups, we just have absolute contentment. And then the lamp, you can call that Spirit's got your back. You are a spark. You are the spark. And the skull of light, you are the light. We have, on our clarifiers, 2 major arcanas. We have 2 kings. It looks like the raven's not going to be sacrificed. And I believe that the light of the world is going to shine. And it's all going to come through most beautifully if we just step out of this mentality, open our eyes and look around and see what we have to be grateful for. It could be forced, as with the Hangman. The Hangman is a Pisces card. We just came through a Pisces full moon. It can signify withdrawal. It can signify addictions. It can signify being caught. It can signify being a traitor to society of the world if we don't believe in everything they're telling us. It can also signify having a worldview. And it's a 12, it's a 3. Or is that 3, 6, and 9s? You know, they always come back to love. And because we should finish this off with a card from the stars that's hopeful. Just lost that. I'm going to reshuffle that. I lost that. I got 1. There's the one I wanted. That wanted to come out. So I'm going to take it and its friend. We're going to end with 3 star cards. The first one being the universal mind. Isn't that interesting? Because this is a reading on kind of what's the universal mind doing. What are they doing? The collective consciousness. My thoughts come directly from the universal mind. I'm guided at all times towards new concepts for living on Earth. A new earth, a new world. Open your eyes and see. The doorway. This is the one that kept wanting to come out, and I kept cramming it back in, but it came out anyway. Higher dimension. I open the door and step into a higher dimension. Remember this, the sound of this music of the spears. I mean, this is all frequency. Light is frequency. It's all just frequency, folks. Where your frequency is what you're going to attract. And the third card, my nails, since I quit nursing, are a little longer. I'm just barely getting used to having some fingernails. Abundance, endless flow. I receive, I receive, I receive all that I am given. I receive signs from the universe to lead my way. I receive my intuition. I receive the messages I hear in the frequencies of music. I am able to discern where I am to be. And I find the lamp and the skull of light. And I think a lot of people are feeling down and confused. I think that's lifting. But I really think this was just absolutely a beautiful spread. And I am so very grateful. And I hope this will give somebody hope. It gives me hope when I do a spread like this that we are rising. We are rising. We are coming into the softer, gentler kind of way. Well, I don't know if I'll do another one tonight. I work tomorrow. I'll wait and see what happens. But love and blessings to everybody. Love and light. We just had tropical rain here to cleanse us, and now I guess we'll have the glaring heat coming back. But it's truly been a wondrous day. It truly is a wondrous life. Don't forget to always be grateful, and don't forget to breathe. Blessings.